let me talk to y'all guys real quick. If you could see my face with the amount of disgust that I'm feeling right now for these patch notes for Fury Warriors, you would see that I'm weeping. I'm sad. Just go ahead and run the intro. Just run the intro. All right, guys, we're back. So I've gathered myself. I'm cool. I got a cup of coffee. We're good. We're gonna sip on it real quick, and we're gonna discuss real quick. Yo, Fury Warriors for 9.1. So I see word was out in the streets that Fury Warriors were getting a Mortal Strike debuff, right? We were getting a debuff, they say. So I go over to Wildhead, I go check it out and see what's going on, and we got one. We do. But it's not enough. It's just not enough. So we're going to talk about this new ability called Slaughterhouse, right? It's the Slaughterhouse. So old PvP talent ability, Slaughterhouse, you bloodthirst, deals 50% additional damage and healing when you hit a target under 50%. Reduces the remaining cooldown by a second. Cool. No one really used Slaughterhouse like that. I didn't. My boy John over next door, he didn't use it. No one used it, right? So Blizzard was like, you know what? We're going to go ahead and switch the game up for you one time, right? So they redo it. They give it a new tool tip and things like that. Rampage damage reduces healing the target receives by 15% for 8 seconds, but then they nerfed it to 5, stacking up to 4 times. What I'm gonna do with a 5-second debuff on a target for only 15%? But they said, we'll let it stack up to 4 times. So your boy was a mathematician in school, so I did a little bit of math. 15 times 4 is 60. So I'm like, 60% for 5 seconds. Let me think about that for a second. All right, it sounds good, but let's go ahead and look at good old Mortal Strike. Don't worry about the ads on the side. I don't know where they're coming from. Look at Mortal Strike. It costs you 30 rage, 6-second cooldown, of course, is affected by haze, does great damage, and it reduces the effectiveness of healing on a target by 50% for 10 seconds. Now, let me, some people say bigger is better. The bigger number is always going to be better, right? So 50, last time I checked, is less than 60, right? So, okay, cool. The duration is 10 seconds instead of 5 seconds. So, you get more uptime on the debuff with Mortal Strike than you would Slaughterhouse. Costs less rage because Slaughterhouse, as you can see, it relies on good old Rampage. Now, to all my people out there that don't play Fury Warrior, Rampage costs you a good whopping 80 rage. So, once again, I did my due diligence and did a little bit of math, right? Charge gives you 20 rage. Rage and Blow gives you 12, and you have 2 stacks of it, so that'd be 24. And then Bloodthirst gives you 8, right? So I did a little math, put it together. It gives you 52. So you're still a little ways off before you can go ahead and rip that healing debuff for 15%. But it stacks. So we're cool. But you got to factor in auto attacks give you between 6 and 8 rage. Like, okay, cool. You might be smooth sailing. You about to hit close to this 80 rage that you need, right? But wait, you need to apply hamstring so you can stick on this target in order to get your Rampage on. That costs you 10, right? So now you're behind the curve, 10 more rage. But wait, now you're getting blown up. Healer CC'd. Let me pop my Ignore Pain. That's another 40 rage gone. So that's 50 out the window of the 80 that you needed to get to Rampage. Now, mind you, this is like it's just a bad situation if you have to do all this, right? But then you gotta think about it. The biggest thing I'm concerned about, and I was going to show you guys on the PTR, I'll have to see if the Rampage stack is per Rampage ability used or how many times you use Rampage. So if Blizzard is expecting us to Rampage 4 times in a 5-second window in order to get the optimal amount of the healing debuff on the target, what's the point? Like, it's, let's say we get a Rampage stack, 15% for 5 seconds, still less than 50, and then less duration by half on the target. I don't see where that's gonna be really good, in my opinion. It's just my opinion, you know. Now you can look at Mortal Strike. I can charge in, get an auto attack, get some rage, hamstring. Oh, but guess what I can do then? I can Mortal Strike the target. I'm gonna consistently get these Mortal Strikes off. Consistently. I'm gonna consistently get 50% for 10 seconds of a debuff on the target to reduce their healing consistently every single time. I don't have to worry about, I wonder if I can get my 15%, if I can squeeze in, you know, enough rage to get 30% of the debuff, you know, 45, etc. I told you guys I do math. I'm good with it, right? So it's seeming real shaky. Now, the only thing that I can think of that would make Slaughterhouse viable is if I pull my rage, hit Rampage, and it counts each strike of Rampage towards the debuff. If that's the case, Slaughterhouse is a lot better than, you know, I'm putting it off to be. But knowing Blizz and how they get down sometimes, if this is based on the amount of times I use Rampage, this is a dog water talent. It would be straight poop. No one will want to use this. If that's the case, hey, I might as well keep playing Arms. One, Arms has a lot more defenses than Fury does. Die by the sword, right? Die by the sword is just great. Ignore Pain never feels like a waste to use because top damage for Fury is Rampage. If I have to use Ignore Pain, that is another 3 to 4 seconds that I don't get to use Rampage. I'll never have to worry about that with Arms. I can Ignore Pain, still have rage left over, still get Mortal Strike up, do the things I need to do. Defensive stance. Reducing damage by 20% that you take, and still Arms hits like a truck just sitting in defensive stance. Sounds pretty good. Have fear. There's a lot of things that Arms has that just makes it better than Fury for PvP, right? And we're only talking about a PvP standpoint. Now, you know, Fury has a little heal, small percentage heal from Bloodthirst. You can pop it in Rage Regen and then get a heal. But a Rage Regen, last time I checked, is a 3-minute cooldown. That's not enough. Not enough. Every time that I have to use Ignore Pain to survive, I'm setting myself back a potential kill turn because I need Rampage. I need to be able to Rampage to do damage. So this talent, yeah, it's cool. It gives Fury Warriors a little bit of hope that we can compete on the higher ladders for PvP, things like that. This might be good in BGs, maybe in 3s, maybe. It might be good. Maybe I'm just, you know, I'm being too critical. But me knowing Blizzard's track record, when it comes to Fury Warriors, it's not going to be good. I feel that this talent is going to be lackluster as hell. We're not going to get the most out of it because, you know, Warriors in general, we have to waddle to our targets. So if I only have a 5-second window to get damage in, and then next you know I get Frost Nova'd, or I get put in a full kidney for, you know, a whole 5 seconds, guess what? My stacks are gone. That's not enough. I feel they should revert it back to at least 8 seconds. Like, give Fury Warriors time to get back on target, refresh their stacks, and then maybe it'll be good. Or they need to buff the percentage per stack, something. If they're gonna leave it at 5 seconds, they need to buff the percentage. At least make it 20. Or they can make it that Rampage application for the stacks is per hit of Rampage. This ability would be still okay, but I still feel Mortal Strike's gonna be better. It's just more optimal. It's more efficient. Every single time that you hit the button, does fantastic damage. And Arms has more defensives. I don't know. The verdict out for me, I think it's okay. Slaughterhouse talent is okay. I think it's about as far as it goes. It's okay. Might get better, hopefully. We'll see what they do. But I don't think it's going to compete with Mortal Strike. I think Mortal Strike, just looking at it in a box, a lot less rage, 50 less rage than what Rampage is going to cost you. 6-second cooldown, great damage, more consistency on the healing debuff. I don't see where Slaughterhouse is going to compete. Maybe if they just buff damage overall, because Fury still does feel a little slack in PvP. One, because Arms has Condemn off rip with no cooldown from 100 to 80%, and then execute window. You can just, that's your priority then. We're just not competing right now. Arms is Fury is not looking like the way to go when it comes to PvP for next patch. But we still have plenty of time. We still have at least a month or so. Hopefully I can get some more data on the PTR. When I tried it today, it was not up. Hopefully I can get a little bit of testing in for you guys, just so we can kind of see what Fury is looking like overall. I want to see what the damage is looking like for PvE. I want to try out some new builds. I want to try out PvP, see how everything rolls. But verdict right now, Slaughterhouse looks okay. That's it. As far as it goes, is okay. But make sure, guys, if you did like the video, make sure to leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about the two abilities if you are a warrior and you're in the chat, in the comment section below. Also, if you're not a warrior, let me know what you play. Let me know how you feel about your class in 9.0.5 currently right now, and what you feel about them in 9.1. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment below, share it, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one.